Drape all 6 of your ropes over your ring so that they're even on both sides. I also recommend taping the ends of your ropes to prevent them from unraveling while we tie our plant hanger. Now bring in your shorter piece of rope and fold it in half so that you have this loop that hangs below, a short little tail that sticks up, and a long piece of rope that we'll use to tie a gathering knot. We're going to place it right in front of all of our ropes, and I like to pinch it right here so that I hold it into place. Okay, that loop's gonna hang below, that short tail's gonna stick up, and we're going to take this long rope and start wrapping it around everything to form our gathering knot. Okay, as you wrap it, you just wanna make sure that little tail is still sticking up. Once you have wrapped it around to the desired length, go ahead and stick that piece we were just using right through the loop. Now take that short tail and just give it a nice gentle tug to pull the knot through the wrapped section. Once you have pulled it through, go ahead and pull both ends to tighten that knot up and secure it. Now I want you to take each individual rope that's hanging down, that will be part of our plant hanger, and just gently pull so that we can adjust the gathering knot to the top of the ring and make sure all of our ropes are smooth and neat throughout. You can repeat this process another time just to make sure everything is laying smoothly. Now take a pair of scissors and trim off the 2 ends we used to form the gathering knot. If you have any ends that remain sticking up, go ahead and grab a tapestry needle or any other object with a pointed end to help push those ends through the wrapped section. Just like that. And now it is wrapped all the way around my ring for the start of our plant hanger. Now we're going to be working in sections of 4. Okay, so you'll have 3 sections of 4, and we're going to begin the main design of our plant hanger. So take your first 4 cords, and with these 4 cords, we are going to begin tying half square knots, or also called the spiral knot. I'm going to start by taking the side here on the far right and crossing it over the 2 cords in the middle to form a loop. I take the side on the far left to then go over that right cord. I send it behind the 2 in the middle, and then I pull it up through that loop. And then I just give it a nice gentle tug to tighten. And then I just repeat the exact same steps. So once again, the right side crosses over the 2 ropes in the middle to form the loop. I take the left side over that right cord, I send it behind the 2 in the middle, and then pull it up through the loop. And I pull it tight. Just keep repeating these steps. Tie a few of these knots, you will notice that it starts to naturally curl around. So what you can do is kind of pinch it and help it turn, and then keep tying your half square knots from the right. Once you have tied 10 inches of those spiral half square knots, we're going to transition into tying full square knots. Now to do this, I'm going to be using a method called the switch knot, where I'm going to take these two outer cords that we were using to tie our knot, and I'm just going to switch them with the two cords that are in the middle. This is going to allow us to keep our length of rope even throughout the project. Okay, so I just took those outer cords in front to switch places. And now I'm going to use the two new outer cords to tie a square knot around the two new cords in the middle. So once again, I'm going to start with the side on the right and just cross it over those two cords in the middle to form a loop. The side on the left goes over the right cord, behind the two in the middle, and up through the loop. And I'm going to pull that nice and tight. Alright, your ropes will look a little crossed here, so you can leave a nice gap so you can see that cool effect if you want. Or you can pull it extra tight to hide the gap a little bit. Now to finish my square knot, I'm going to take the side on the far left to cross over the two cords in the middle to form a loop. The side on the right goes over the left cord, behind the two in the middle, and up through the loop. And I pull it tight. And that is my full square knot. So once again, I take the right side over the two cords in the middle to form a loop. The side on the left goes over the right, behind the two in the middle, and up through the loop. And then I just pull that nice and tight. Now I take the side on the left to cross over the two cords in the middle. The side on the right goes over that left cord, behind the two in the middle, and up through the loop. And I pull it tight. And I'm just going to keep repeating this until I have about 10 inches of square knots. Okay, so once you have about 10 inches of those square knots, our first section of our plant hanger is now finished. Okay, so this is what that first section of your plant hanger will look like once it's all finished. So you should have that beautiful spiral knot transitioning into the square knot. And both sections should be about 10 inches each. So once that first section is all finished up, you can rotate your ring around and grab 4 more cords. And we're going to start that second section. And we're just repeating the exact same steps we did for the very first section. So we start by doing our half square knots to make that spiral knot. Once that spiral section matches the same length as our first section, we're going to transition into those square knots. And now you should have 2 sections complete, okay? They should be identical. Now we just turn our project around one more time and take our last 4 ropes, and we're going to repeat the exact same process for our very last section. So you should have 3 sections that match. And this is what it will look like with all 3 sections complete. Okay, so it's just 3 of the same pattern, and they are all the exact same length. Okay, so now it is time for us to finish our plant hanger by making the little basket for our pot to sit into. To do this, I'm going to take 2 of my sections, and I'm going to take 2 of the inner cords from one section and 2 inner cords from the section next to it. So we're going to be making an alternating square knot with the 4 ropes here, so 2 from each section. And I'm going to move down about 6 inches and tie my first square knot 6 inches down. Now before you tie your first knot, double check to make sure your ropes are laying straight down, okay? You don't want to accidentally have it twisted and grab the wrong ropes, because then it might not look as nice. Okay, so just double check to make sure all your ropes are laying nice and neat and straight. And then just tie a normal square knot 6 inches down. After you tie your first square knot, tie 3 more square knots right after this for a total of 4 in a row. Okay, so you'll have 4 in a row once you are finished. Now we're just going to rotate our plant hanger around and grab the next 4 ropes. Okay, so once again, it's 2 ropes from one section and 2 ropes from the section next to it. And you want to make sure your ropes are not crossed at all. And then just match the length with the section we just tied for your next 4 square knots. Okay, and now we just rotate that plant hanger around one more time to do our very last section. Once again, just double check your ropes to make sure they are not crossed. And we're just tying those 4 square knots in a row. Once it's done, you'll have all 3 sections here. And you'll notice that a basket is starting to form. Okay, this connects all 3 sections together. And now our last step is to finish out the bottom of our plant hanger. To finish out the bottom of our plant hanger, we're going to bring in our second 3-foot rope and secure this with another gathering knot, just like we did at the very start of our plant hanger. I'm going to place this right below all my square knots. Okay, once you have formed your gathering knot, you can pull each individual rope down to smooth it out. And then just trim off the ends of that gathering knot. And lastly, you can just trim off the ends to make them even and to snip off where you taped them. Now let me just sit my pot in to make sure it fits how I want it to. Just like that. So now my pot has a great base to sit into and hang